we're going to create something that's never sort of been done here before in Mozambique. Starting first and foremost with the carvings that don't necessarily exist in this part of Mozambique. It's all found up in the north. That's where you will find, experts that have been doing it for 10, 15 years, and they've mastered it. So to find the carvers and Ricardo and sort of work with them, this is what led me to believe that, okay, anything is possible. That there's not going to be any boundaries, because we've all got this vision and we've all got this talent, and it's so beautiful to see how your talent can just be transferred into something that's tangible, that you see it right then and there. That is what that is what you're able to create and be passionate about. Especially in Mozambique, it's just, I think, feeding off everyone's happiness, because the people generally tend to be super happy, and they don't really have much, to be honest, and I draw so much inspiration from that, because I feel like if they having a great day, I can definitely impart that into my life. We're basically just pulling into where I normally just stop the car, right next to this mechanic shop over here, and then we've got to walk about 300 meters into the village to the workshop, to the carpenter's house.
My name is Zach. I'm a carpenter. Bom dia, meu nome sou Pedro. Eu trabalho pedreiro. Bom dia, meu nome sou Patrícia. Eu sou carpinteiro. Bom dia, meu nome sou Antônio Manuel. Eu sou carpinteiro.
Bom dia, meu nome é Moisés. Sou ajudante na carpintaria.
In the process of this project, we're about a year into it, and Ricardo passed away from diabetes, and it was a massive blow to me, because this is somebody that I really drew a lot of inspiration from, but also just being able to have started getting into carpentry, being taught the basics sort of behind it, and sort of realizing that, listen, you don't have to be a master at everything. There are people that can guide you and stuff. And with his passing, it just made me realize that things are gonna get a lot more tougher now. Because when we did the first piece and stuff like that, there was this energy, and we were just sort of feeding off each other's vibes, and it came to a point where I was like, this is now all gonna be on you. You need to see this through. You need to make it a reality. And it just made me realize that it's not gonna be such a surf holiday kind of come in and out. Things are gonna get tough, and they did. Things got a little bit difficult, where I couldn't necessarily find somebody else to replace Ricardo. First and foremost, because they didn't have the same kind of vision that him and I had, what we were trying to create here, because initially we were just gonna work on these different projects throughout the course of time, whether they were going to be for myself or possibly somebody else, but that was the initial plan that I had. And when he passed away, it was as though, okay, listen, you won't be able to find somebody else like him, but I'm in this position where I've got this piece. Do I decide to walk away from it, or do I finish it?
So these are all like the patterns and stuff that I created for this piece, because none of the stuff is like freehand. So what I can actually show you is how I did patterns and I then incorporated like some of these designs here, flipped it over like that, and there you go. One of the last carvings that kind of need to get done, just to put one of these pieces on the sides of it.
With my illustration, a lot of the time it can get very, very detailed, and I'd put these drawings onto card, have these templates made and cut out, and then have that transferred onto planks or pieces of wood. It's one thing to see like a flower in nature, but let's try and get that out of the wood, and to get curves that follow through, and if you have a leaf that comes out, and it's tough. It's not that easy, because it's not like, you know, when you're working with wood, it's not like all of a sudden there you go, things happen. One wrong placement of a chisel or an inaccurate knock of it can have a piece broken. And it's so cool to see how the carvers read the grain of the wood. So they'd be going at it and then realizing like, okay, there's like a reverse grain here, place the chisel on the other side, and it's stuff that you don't just learn over a year or two. That takes years of understanding.
Job is job, but when you give your heart,
Yeah.
then calling God
To give you the
give
strength,
me power.
the strength to get it done, eh?
Maybe now I'm relaxed about the many days. Don't like I'm like crazy about the flower, because many flower.
Yeah, because I think on the one panel is like 380 flowers on the one side, you know?
Big job, the main guitar.
Yeah.
That's how someone see it.
It took us 4 years. There's a reason why it took us 4 years to make this, because it had to go the way, you know, like this, because you stand back and you look at something, no, we need to put something there. You look at this, no, I want to put these designs over here in the corners because it's missing something, you know? So as it developed, it needed to take that amount of time to be able to properly process and think about it. Because imagine you had to do this in one go and do all the carvings, you'd lose your mind. When one door closes, literally another one opens. And with the passing of Ricardo, it just made me realize that, like, the knowledge that he had given me and handed over to me was being passed into me, and it was my turn to now fulfill and see it through. So it's literally building this doorway has led me to Mozambique.
Buddha Jivona Kushonga Kadrone Jinweti Buya Hinyosha Shikamwe Nadrone Wawona Amwete Uhuma Kamatine Wawona Amwete Uhuma Kamatine Jinweti Aikanganeni hikina shingombela Jinweti hitakanga karingana wakaringana Boy hikanga azoto zoto Boy hinkula shikama pindra Boy